This is how the crowd's shushing may have sabotaged Simone Biles' final routine. The redemption tour did not end with a golden encore for Simone Biles. By the time she entered Bercy Arena for the beam and floor exercise finals on Monday, she was drained. Mentally, physically, all of it. It's what this event does, what this sport does. The American gymnast made a rare mistake on the beam as she missed out on Olympic gold. Simone Biles appeared to complain about the crowd inside Paris's Bercy Arena after she missed out on a medal in the gymnastics beam final. Biles proceeded to fall off the beam halfway through, which prompted a number of gasps from the crowd. The American regained her composure after the fall to complete the beam routine and earn a score of 13.100. That being said, Biles was far from happy with the circumstances surrounding the fall. In fact, when she rejoined her coach and teammates at the seating area, she complained about the crowd inside Paris's Bercy Arena. Widespread reports suggest Biles accused them of making unnecessary noises as she took to the beam. Throwing her hands in the air, it appears she told them to stop shushing, before adding, "Why are they all shushing? As soon as I'm going, they're like shushing so much."
So today, you could hear some of the Android ringtones going off, the photo clickers, whatever that was. And so, you're trying to stay in your zone. And then people start cheering, and then the shushing gets louder. So really, they should be shushed because they're louder than them. I don't know. It was really weird and awkward.
USA teammate Sunisa Lee replied, "I don't know why. Are they, the Olympic gymnastics organizers, telling them to?" It appears shouts of, "Come on, Simone," were heard while she performed, which brought shush sounds from people in the audience. You can watch the events unfold below. Craig Heap, the BBC commentator who was reporting on the event, said he'd never seen Simone Biles look so angry in his life. She was not happy. "Something has gone on in the arena," he said. "Simone is not happy at all. It just goes to show she is a human being. All the other ladies in that final have made mistakes. She's not invincible." Heap's co-commentator Matt Baker clarified, "She's talking about the atmosphere. She's talking about shushing. The feeling in here is like a cauldron when the gymnasts are on. Oh my word." Some Olympic fans have taken a conspiratorial view of the balance beam final. A video that has been circulating on social media has some fans crying foul after all four of the athletes who failed to stay on the bar appeared to lose their footing in a similar spot on the beam. Now, they all fell in a similar spot on the beam, one supporter wrote on X. Another said, "So the best gymnasts in the world all fell on the exact same spot, definitely not sus." "Someone has definitely tampered with the beam," said a third onlooker. A fourth joked, "Someone did witchcraft because no way all of them fell exactly on the same spot." Biles' score took an age to come through, but when it did, her total of 13.100 was not enough to finish in the top three. She commented on the odd beam final after the event's conclusion and implied the atmosphere could have been to blame for the errors. "The beam final is always the most stressful," the 27-year-old said. "Usually we have music or background noise, whatever that may be. We do better in environments with noise going on because it feels most like practice. People start cheering and then people start shushing gets louder, but then they should be shushed because they're louder. It was really weird and awkward. We've asked several times for some music or background noise. I'm not really sure what happened there. Not our favorite. None of us liked it. Yes, it was an odd beam final."
Beam final is always the most stressful, but usually we have music or background noise, whatever that may be. And honestly, we do better in environments when there's noise going on because it feels most like practice. So today, you could hear.
Eurosport commentator and former British gymnast Danuzia Francis suggested that the chosen manufacturer may have been to blame. She said, "The beam is looking terribly slippy today. Maybe they thought these girls are the best in the world and they made it smaller," she joked. "The equipment is Gymnova. My personal preference as a gymnast was my least favorite. These gymnasts may be training on different brands of equipment. After losing her balance at the end of an aerial series, Biles placed fifth. Italy's Alice D'Amato deservedly won gold with a score 14.366, whilst China's Zhou Yaqin took home a silver medal with 14.100. Manila
dominating the team
Esposito
finals
of
to
Italy
clinch
picked
their
up the
first team
bronze with
gold since
14.000. Simone Biles didn't think she'd even be here a couple of years ago, will leave Paris, and perhaps her final Olympics, with 3 golds and a silver and something perhaps even more valuable: peace. I accomplished way more than my wildest dreams, not just at this Olympics, but in the sport, the 11-time Olympic medalist said. So I can't be mad at the performances. Competing then walking away with 4 medals. I'm not mad about it. Biles certainly didn't look mad during the awards ceremony after the floor exercise, the first one of her career at a major competition that ended with her looking up at someone else. Instead, she and good friend and bronze medalist Jordan Chilos bowed to Rebecca Andrade, the Brazilian who has spent the last 3 years as the best gymnast in the world not named Biles. "It was just the right thing to do," Biles said. "She's queen." Then the 3 black women posed together on the podium 4 days after Biles, Andrade, and Sunisa Lee, who is Hmong American, stood in the same spot following the all-around. Their collective success is symbolic of a sport that is becoming more diverse and more inclusive at the highest level, led by someone who still describes herself as Simone Biles from Spring, Texas, who flips. For a long time, the flipping is what separated Biles from everyone else. Her routines are packed with so much difficulty that a wobble here or a step out of bounds there ultimately hasn't mattered. It did in what could be the final routine of her career. Bothered perhaps by a left calf injury she aggravated during qualifying last week, Biles wasn't at her best during a 75-second set that features music from pop icons Taylor Swift and Beyoncé, and the hardest tumbling passes ever done by a woman. Twice at the end of the passes that feature elements bearing her name in the sport's code of points, her feet landed on blue boundary, costing her valuable tenths and creating just enough room for Andrade's score of 14.166 to stand. When a 14.133 and the number 2, indicating she was still in second, flashed next to Biles' name, a packed arena that included NFL icon Tom Brady let out an ooh of surprise. Biles was not one of them. "I'm not very upset or anything about my performance at the Olympics," she said. "I'm happy, proud, and even more excited that it's over." Whether it's fully over, she's not saying. Though Chiles may have offered a hint as they talked to reporters afterward, with Chiles leaning over and saying under her breath, "I'm going to miss you, man." So will gymnastics, the Olympics too. Biles' 11 career medals at the Olympics, 7 gold, 2 silver, 2 bronze, ties Czechoslovakia's Vera Kaslavska for the second most by a female gymnast in Olympic history. A chance at making it a dozen ended earlier on Monday when Biles fell during the beam final, finishing 5th. She was hardly the only one. 4 of the finalists came off during their routines, which were done in a quiet arena that is typically a wall of sound during competition. Not this time, after the International Gymnastics Federation had the in-house DJ hit pause during event finals, which Biles said made it really weird and awkward. The silence and intermittent shushing didn't bother Italy's Alice D'Amato, who finished off a breakout Olympics for the Italians, silver medalists in the team competition, by putting together a steady set that seemed immune to the pressure or the moment. Zhou Yaqin of China earned silver with a 14.100, just ahead of bronze medalist Manila Esposito of Italy. Biles praised D'Amato and Esposito for providing building blocks that she believes will help inspire young girls in Italy to take up the sport. It's something Biles has done during her long stay in the spotlight. She's in no hurry to make any decision on if it's time to let someone else step forward. She offered never say never when asked over the weekend if Los Angeles 2028 is a possibility. She will be 31 then, an age when most gymnasts have long since retired.
Yeah, being in a good mental spot, seeing my therapist every Thursday, it's kind of religious for me, so that's why I'm here today.
Yet considering the gap that still exists between herself and nearly everyone else in the sport, save for Andrade, who pushed Biles as hard as she's been pushed, anything is possible. That is, for later. For now, there is merely appreciation. The critics that pounced after Tokyo 2020 have gone quiet. So, have whatever inner demons remained. "I couldn't have asked for a better Olympic Games, a better support system," she said. "Thank you, Paris." What do you think about the atmosphere during the beam final? Was it fair or distracting for the athletes? Simone Biles blasted fans who criticized her husband for wearing her gold medal, calling naysayers effing miserable and asking them to leave her family alone. The controversy began on Tuesday, July 30th, shortly after Simone Biles and Team USA won the all-around team gold medal at the 2024 Paris Olympics. Instagram that evening with his arm around Biles and her gold medal around his neck. Biles helped USA land its first gymnastics gold of the Paris Games on Tuesday when she and teammates Suni Lee, Jordan Chiles and Jade Carey saw off Italy and Brazil. The fans were left fuming on social media when Owens, Biles' husband of the last 2 years, was seen proudly wearing her medal on Tuesday night. In a post celebrating his wife, the NFL player posed next to her with the gold around his neck and wrote, "Witnessing history every time you step on the mat. Congrats, baby, on becoming the most decorated American gymnast in Olympic history." Just wow. 8 of them. So thankful I was there to see it. Several users blasted Owens for his odd behavior on the night, while content creator Kira Bray even told him to take it off in a video which racked up 2.5 million views on TikTok.
Take her medal off. After all of take her medal off. Was it you, Mr. Simone Biles, who was flying through the air yesterday? Was it you who spun like a top 30 times in the air and landed without stumbling? No. You were taking notes in the audience, and I thought that was cute. I was going to give him a pass. I thought him keeping score in the audience was kind of cute. And I was going to take it easy on him. To open Instagram, why is her medal around your neck? For the picture? For the picture that you post? After all we learned nothing? What a choice. What a choice. In the audience, he does look like pretty studious though, and like he's like really paying attention. Let her wear the medal for the picture that you post after everything that's gone on. That could be a pretty simple PR move. He's like, this is my only time to wear a gold medal around my neck, so I guess I'll just take this chance now. Not like I already got made fun of by the entire internet for trying to overshadow my wife and undermine her accomplishments. Even, I don't think he means to. I really don't think he means to. I think he's just like, I don't know. Somebody took the picture and thought, this makes sense, given the history. This is a good idea. Whoever took the picture is a hater. These people just need more friends who will tell them what things appear to be if they want to avoid the comments. Because go look at the comments on that picture. All of them are like, wow, odd choice. I don't even remember your name, Mr. Simone Biles. Like, it's egging it on.
However, Biles took to the comments section to hit out at Brog and other users for criticizing her husband, branding them so effing miserable. Crazy thing is, I put my medal on every single one of my family members and took pictures, she wrote. So don't ever make assumptions. Biles then added, like y'all are so fucking miserable, leave us alone. Owens is out in Paris with Biles this summer after being granted time off from practice with the Bears to watch Biles in action. She showed her appreciation for him by commenting on his photo of them together, means the world you're here. But despite his heartwarming words, Owens was blasted by fans online for wearing the medal. One wrote, "You do realize that is not your medal, right?" Another put, "But why are you wearing it? How odd." "I knew he was gone wear her medal like he won it," said a third user. A fourth commented, "That's Simone's gold medal you're holding, not yours, my guy." While one simply told him, "Give the medal back, baby, that's not yours." Owens not only received criticism for his medal-wearing antics, however, fans were also quick to reference an infamous 2023 interview in which he claimed to have not known who Biles was when they first met on a dating app.
I had some likes on my Instagram, you know, and I'm like, oh, this might be. I'm like, okay. So I see what's up, and then I still waited. I'm like, man, I'm gonna wait till I, take a shower and everything. Then I come back to my phone, and then she messages me on the app, like, hey, you know what I mean? And I'm, man, that's up, man. This gotta be fake. Like, I don't know. I didn't know who she was at the time, but Like the first thing that I saw was that she just had a bunch of followers. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, she gotta be good. I promise you, I'm a real life story. When she won the Olympics, I was in college and we didn't have NBC, we didn't have Olympic channels, and we're in camp.
And the football player was reminded of those comments after donning his wife's Olympic gold this week. One user said, "But you didn't know who she was, right?" Another wrote, "Do you know who she is now? Lamau." While a third posted, "Now he knows about gymnastics." Owens has previously been criticized for his remarks about their relationship. In December 2023, he claimed during an episode of the Pivot podcast that he didn't know who Biles was when they first met on membership-based dating app Raya in 2020. When he was asked if he believes he's the catch in their relationship, Owens replied, "I always say that the men are the catch." His remark about being a catch sparked the most criticism among fans, who pointed out that Owens' wife was a successful Olympian.
Who was really the catch in...
I always say the men the catch, man. I always say we the catch, man.
Yeah, so she really booked you.
She did, though.
Is what you're saying.
Because I was fighting.
Biles told Alex Cooper on the Call Her Daddy podcast in April that she found amusement in the viral reaction to her husband's comments, but also confessed how hurt she was over it. "I thought it was hilarious at first, and then they hurt my feelings," she explained. "And then one night, I broke down, and I'm like, why are you guys talking about my husband like this? Like, you don't know him. You don't know who he is. And if anybody's met him, they know he's the sweetest guy and will do anything for anybody." Biles added, "Because for me, it's like, talk about me all you want, but don't come for my family, never. Because I've been in the limelight long enough where I can brush things off, have my little powwow about it." In May, she once again addressed the backlash directed towards her husband after fans went to the comments of her Instagram photos with him and reminded her that she was the prize in the relationship. "I'm going to quickly address this. The joke was never a joke. Y'all are blatantly being disrespectful to my relationship and my husband, so I'm going to go ahead and say this one time. Respectfully, fuck off." Biles replied to the backlash on her Instagram story, "And if you keep commenting or tweeting at me, I'm just going to block you. Simple as that. And no, I don't need to touch grass or whatever TF y'all suggest." So far in 2024, Biles has won 3 gold medals at the 2024 Paris Olympics. 1 in the team finals, 1 in the individual all-around, and 1 on the vault. This brings her total medal count to 10, 7 of which are gold. She is officially the most decorated American gymnast in Olympic history. What do you think about Simone's fierce defense of her husband? Share your thoughts in the comments. Biles and Owens were married on April 22, 2023 in a courtroom ceremony. They later shared video of a destination wedding in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico in May 2023. "We had to get married legally here in the US, since our wedding will be a destination wedding," Biles told Vogue. During an episode of Biles' docuseries Simone vs. Herself, Owens said that one of the things he was most impressed by was Biles' commitment to her craft. "Her work ethic was the first thing that caught my eye. I'd never watched gymnastics before. When I first met, I honestly didn't know who she was. The coolest thing for me is that I get to witness someone who is literally at the pinnacle of their sport. It's motivating just to see that and the impact that she has on people," he said. Despite their different sports, Biles and Owens have a lot in common when it comes to navigating their careers as professional athletes. Luckily, as Biles told people in 2021, the pair can always count on each other for support. "Oh, he's always so supportive," she shared of Owens. "Even if I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I'm tired, do I have to go?" jokingly, he's like, "Don't say that. You can do it. This is your dream." Owens told Texas Monthly that Biles is equally supportive and that the couple constantly motivates each other. "She'll be telling me, 'Don't be a baby, you're all right.' We're both super competitive," he shared, adding that Biles' work ethic inspires his own. "When I see her getting up and going to practice every morning, it motivates me even more. It's a great feeling when the person you're in a relationship with understands what you're going through." When Biles became the youngest person to ever receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom in July 2022, Owens was right there with her to cheer the athlete on. "Words can't explain how proud I am of you," he wrote on Instagram. "This has been such a surreal experience to watch you receive your Presidential Medal of Freedom and be the youngest to ever receive one at that." In August 2023, Owens showed his support for Biles after she competed at the US Classics, her first time competing since she appeared in the 2021 Tokyo Olympics. Simone Biles just fired back at Michaela Skinner. "You won't believe what happened next."
When Simone Biles posted a congratulatory message to the U.S. women's gymnastics team following their big win on July 30th, her caption might have seemed a little surprising to folks not in the know. The text: "Lack of talent, lazy Olympic champions," followed by a string of emojis. To be clear, after the day Team USA had, dominating in the team finals to clinch their first team gold since 2016, Biles certainly was not calling out teammates Suni Lee, Jade Carey, Jordan Chiles, and Hesley Rivera, or herself, for slacking. Instead, the caption was seemingly an epic clapback at a comment made by former Olympic teammate Michaela Skinner. Confused? We're here to clarify. Hint, it all started with a YouTube video. Skinner, a 27-year-old Arizona native, is a former elite gymnast. She competed alongside Biles at the 2020 Tokyo Summer Games in 2021, not as a member of the 5-person team, but as an individual event specialist, and went on to win a silver medal in the vault. She has since retired from gymnastics and runs a YouTube channel that documents her transition away from professional sports. And just to be clear, Skinner is a different person from Michaela Maroney, the Olympic medalist whose disappointed face became a huge meme during the 2012 London Games, and Michaela Schifrin, the 2-time Olympic gold medalist in alpine skiing. Skinner's feud, as lots of outlets are calling it, with the Team USA gymnastics team started earlier this summer. In a since-deleted YouTube video after the Olympic team selection on June 30th, Skinner threw some not-so-subtle shade at the current crop of gymnasts, according to CNN.
I feel like the talent and the depth just isn't like what it used to be. Just notice, like, I mean, obviously a lot of girls don't work as hard. The girls just don't have the work ethic.
A lot of the stuff that I was talking about wasn't always necessarily about the current team, because I love and support all the girls that made it, and I'm so proud of them.
Besides Simone, I feel like the talent and the depth just isn't like what it used to be, she said in the video, CNN reported. "A lot of girls don't work as hard," she added. "The girls just don't have the work ethic." And she seemed to blame the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, an organization established in the wake of the Larry Nassar scandal that handles allegations of abuse across Olympic sports. Coaches have to be really careful about what they say, which in some ways is really good, but at the same time, to get where you need to be in gymnastics, you have to be a little aggressive and a little intense, Skinner said, according to the Associated Press. Gymnastics whistleblower Rachel Den Hollander, the first woman to publicly accuse Nassar of sexual abuse, responded on July 5th. In a post on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, she wrote, "This is precisely why continued education is desperately needed. When an athlete reminisces about one of the most abusive coaches in gymnastics history, suggesting her abusive model was necessary for work ethic, we have a problem." Understandably, Skinner's comments weren't too well received by anyone else either. "Not everyone needs a mic and a platform," Biles wrote in a July 3rd post on Threads that racked up more than 18,000 likes. Initially, Skinner defended herself, according to CNN. In an Instagram story video, she claimed that she had been misinterpreted or misunderstood. Later on, however, she changed course, taking to X to make a public apology. In a July 6 statement addressed to Team USA and our gymnastics community, Skinner wrote that she wanted to take full responsibility for what I said. "It was not my intention to offend or disrespect any of the athletes or to take away from their hard work," she added. You bet. And they included several other former and current Team USA gymnasts, all of whom commented on Biles' July 30th Instagram post. "I'm so freaking proud of you," 16-year-old Hesley Rivera, the youngest member of the Paris women's gymnastics team, wrote. And Lori Hernandez, who competed alongside Biles at the 2016 Rio Games and is currently a Paris Games commentator for NBC, also chimed in, writing, "LMAO, I love y'all." Other commenters referenced the so-called feud more explicitly. Mic drop, Nastia Lukin, a retired gymnast and 5-time Olympic medalist, wrote, later adding, "So FKN proud." Caption goes crazy. Steven Nadorskick, whose pommel horse routine helped the men's gymnastics team snag a bronze medal on July 29th, wrote in part, Put a finger down if Simone Biles just ended you, Lee, another member of the Paris team, wrote, and likely referring to Skinner, Michaela Maroney wrote in part, "Feels like I need to apologize just to redeem my first name." Even USA Gymnastics entered the fray, posting a comment that consisted of 3 face with hand over mouth emojis. And other athletes did too. Retired alpine skier and 3-time Olympic medalist Lindsey Vonn wrote, "Ha ha ha, let the haters hate while you badasses go get medals," followed by 5 gold medal emojis. In fact, at this point, it seems like the only person who hasn't weighed in on the post, at least publicly, is Skinner herself. But sometimes there's truth to the old cliche that actions speak louder than words. On the afternoon of July 31st, Biles took to X to share an apparent update with her followers. "Oop, I've been blocked," she wrote, followed by yet more emojis. Whose side are you on, Simone or Michaela? Simone Biles has once again captivated the world with her extraordinary performance. The 27-year-old gymnast led the United States women's team to a resounding victory in the gymnastics team final, securing her 5th Olympic gold medal and solidifying her status as one of the greatest athletes of all time. The U.S. team, consisting of Biles, Sunisa Lee, Jordan Chiles, Jade Carey, and Hesley Rivera, dominated the competition at the Bercy Arena. Their combined score of 171.296 points left their closest competitors in the dust. Italy claimed silver with 165.494 points, while Brazil secured bronze with 164.497 points, marking their first ever Olympic team medal in gymnastics. This victory carries immense significance for Team USA. It marks their triumphant return to the top of the podium after settling for silver in Tokyo 2020, where Biles famously withdrew due to mental health concerns. It's the 3rd gold medal for the USA in the last 4 Summer Games. Biles herself expressed the team's determination, stating, "I think we all had something to prove from Tokyo, and tonight we did just that."
So much height.
It's 15!
The American team's performance was amazing across all 4 disciplines. The U.S. got off to a flying start on vault, where Chile's scored 14.000, followed by Carey with 14.800. Biles, opting for a slightly safer routine, still managed to secure a high-scoring 14.900 with her Cheng vault. This decision to perform a Chung rather than her signature Yurchenko double pike, the hardest vault currently being done in competition by a female gymnast, demonstrates Biles' strategic approach to the team competition.
A 14.666 for the Cheng, slightly better than...
Moving to the uneven bars, traditionally Biles' weakest event, she surprised everyone with one of her best ever routines, scoring 14.366. Chiles followed with a solid 14.400, while Lee topped the team with 14.566. By this point, the US had opened up a significant 3.102 points lead over Italy, nearly the same margin between 2nd and 6th place. Americans headed to the beam next, where Chiles fell on her front pike before closing strong for a 12.733 score. However, Lee and Biles more than compensated with scores of 14.600 and 14.366 respectively, further extending the USA's lead to 3.602 points after 3 rotations. As in their previous team golds in London and Rio, the US team's final event was the floor exercise, where Lee scored 13.533 and Chiles 13.966 with energetic, powerful routines. Biles closed the show with a breathtaking performance to a soundtrack opening with Taylor Swift's Ready For It. Despite stepping out of bounds twice, her routine was packed with difficulty, earning her the highest floor score of the night at 14.666. The highlight of her routine was a triple twisting double back somersault, a move of such complexity that it's difficult even to describe, let alone execute. This victory marks Biles' 38th career medal across the Olympics and World Championships, extending her record as the most decorated gymnast in history. At 27, she's the oldest American woman to make an Olympic gymnastics team since the 1950s. What makes this achievement even more remarkable is that Biles accomplished it while battling a recent calf injury. The context surrounding this victory adds layers to its significance. 3 years ago in Tokyo, Biles withdrew from the team final after experiencing the twisties, a dangerous mental block that affects a gymnast's spatial awareness. Her decision to prioritize her mental health sparked a global conversation about athlete welfare and the pressures of elite sports. This year's competition was notably missing the Russian team, who edged out the USA for gold in Tokyo. Their absence, while altering the competitive landscape, doesn't diminish the impressive nature of Team USA's performance. The event drew a star-studded crowd, including celebrities like Nicole Kidman, Natalie Portman, Serena Williams, Michael Phelps, and Spike Lee. Even Biles' husband, NFL player Jonathan Owens, was granted leave from his training camp to witness this historic moment. Looking ahead, Biles has several more opportunities to add to her medal count in Paris. She's set to compete in Thursday's individual all-around final, where she could become only the third woman in history to win the title twice, following in the footsteps of Larisa Latinina of the USSR, 1956 and 1960, and Vera Časlavská of Czechoslovakia, 1964 and 1968. She's also qualified first in vault and floor exercise and second on balance beam, setting the stage for potentially matching her 5-medal haul from Rio 2016. Her advocacy for mental health has changed the conversation in sports. She's been open about her use of therapy, referring to it as her 5th rotation in training, as crucial as practicing on any apparatus. This emphasis on mental well-being has benefited her performance and may also inspire countless others to prioritize their mental health. After the Tokyo Olympics, she said, "I say put mental health first, because if you don't, then you're not going to enjoy your sport and you're not going to succeed as much as you want to." At last month's US Olympic trials, Biles had said, "This is definitely our redemption tour. I feel like we all have more to give." Her words proved prophetic in Paris. The USA team's success is not just about Biles, however. Each member has overcome significant challenges. Sunisa Lee has been battling a rare kidney disease that forced her to pause her competitive career last year. Jordan Chiles has faced racism and body shaming, experiences that nearly made her quit the sport. Chiles once said, "I would always leave a note before I went to school on the kitchen counter and saying, 'I'm done,' but I still went to practice that day." Their individual triumphs add depth to the team's collective victory. Biles' place in sports history continues to evolve. In ESPN's recent list of the top 100 athletes of the 21st century, she ranked 7th, one of only 3 active athletes in the top 10, alongside Lionel Messi and LeBron James. Unlike her contemporaries who are in the twilight of their careers, Biles seems to be reaching new heights. Her list of record-breaking achievements is staggering. She's the most decorated U.S. gymnast in history and is now the oldest gymnast to win Olympic gold since 1964. The only parallel that comes close is Michael Jordan's return to basketball after a brief pause, but even that comparison falls short of capturing Biles' unique journey. Biles' resilience extends beyond the gym. She's been a powerful voice in addressing the Larry Nassar abuse scandal that rocked USA Gymnastics. By sharing her own experiences, she's helped bring attention to this critical issue and empowered others to speak out. The future looks bright for Biles. With more events to come in Paris, she has the potential to further cement her legacy. Her ongoing impact on gymnastics and sports in general is immeasurable. She's redefined what's possible in her sport, pushing boundaries not just in difficulty, but in how athletes approach their mental and physical well-being. The impact of Biles' performance extends beyond her individual accomplishments. The U.S. team's victory marks their 9th consecutive medal in the Olympic team event and their 4th women's team gold in Olympic history. It's worth noting that Biles' performance in Paris wasn't flawless, which in some ways makes it even more impressive. On the balance beam, she had a slight wobble that caused the audience to gasp. Her floor routine, while spectacular, included small falls that took her out of bounds. Yet, despite these minor imperfections, she still outscored her competitors by a significant margin.
But I think you cannot view that in isolation. Well, it is
The absence of the Russian team, who were not entered in the final, did leave the competition wanting for drama. However, it also highlighted the gap between the U.S. team and the rest of the world. The margin of victory, nearly 6 points, is significant. Olympian Noah Lyles may be the fastest man in the world, but with his girlfriend, Jamaican athlete Lyles and Bromfield, he took his time. The couple met in 2017 through social media, and after months of talking, they met up in person. However, things didn't go quite as well during their first date, and the two decided to stay friends rather than pursue anything more. "Whenever I get in a relationship, I'm very serious," Lyles explained during an interview on the Fast Lane Lifestyle podcast. After that failed first date, the pair remained in touch.
In 2022, Lyles decided to give romance another shot and asked her out again. Since then, they've become inseparable. "We're going to grow old together, and it's going to be forever," he remarked on the Fast Lane Lifestyle podcast. As of now, they're not only living together in Florida, but they also trained for the Olympics with one another. Although they keep things professional on the track, they have plenty of public displays of affection on social media. In April 2024, Bromfield even shared the latest romantic gesture from Lyles, a car. She posted a video of Lyles unveiling a brand new Hyundai Genesis on Instagram with the caption, "First car. Paperwork took so long my excitement ran out. Thank you, baby." So who is Noah Lyles' girlfriend? Here's everything to know about Junelle Bromfield and her relationship with the World Championship winner. Bromfield was born on February 8, 1998 in Black River, Jamaica. Lyles has traveled with Bromfield to her hometown many times and has embraced her culture wholeheartedly. During a 2024 press conference, he wore a Jamaican-inspired Adidas kit, a fashion statement he credited to his girlfriend. He also expressed his own love of the country, telling reporters, "When you go to Jamaica, you're treated like a freaking rock star." Junelle Bromfield of Team Jamaica competes during the women's 400-meter round 1 heats on day 6 of the Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games at Alexander Stadium on August 3, 2022 in Birmingham, England. David Ramos, Getty. Like Lyles, Bromfield is an Olympic-level track and field athlete with plenty of awards to her name. She's also a sprinter, while Lyles primarily competes in the 100 and 200 meters. Bromfield specializes in the 400, and during the 2020 Summer Olympics, she even won a bronze medal, just like her beau. The couple will also have a chance to compete alongside each other at the 2024 Summer Games in Paris. Lyles will be competing in the men's 100 meters and 200 meters, while Bromfield will be representing Jamaica in the women's 400-meter relay and the women's 400 meters. After Bromfield secured her spot on the Olympic team, Lyles was quick to congratulate her on X, formerly known as Twitter, writing, "That's what I'm talking about. Junelle Bromfield is going to the Olympics in the 400 meters." Track's biggest power couple is going on 2 years together. The pair, who started dating in summer of 2022, went Instagram official a few months later in December. Bromfield accompanied Lyles to the USATF Night of Legends celebration, where he took home the Male Athlete of the Year award. The next day, both shared images of their red carpet date night on social media. In August 2023, Bromfield marked their first anniversary with a sweet message on Instagram. "Cheers to 7 years of friendship, 6 months of dating, 1 year of being your partner, and to forever loving you," she captioned the post. Prior to their 2022 romance, the two were friends for several years. During a joint interview on the Fast Lane Lifestyle podcast, the couple spoke candidly about their relationship, saying Bromfield initially reached out to Lyles via social media. "I slid in the DMs," she admitted, laughing. "In 2017, she slides in my DMs and we started chit-chatting a little," Lyles then shared, adding that at first, he was very defensive and had his guard up. He went on to describe how their relationship unfolded over the next few months as they spoke more often and even played iPhone games together. The following year, they finally met up in person, but surprisingly, he said, they just didn't click on that first date. "It didn't click at all," Bromfield added with a laugh. "It was like, no, let's just be friends." They maintained a friendship and a flirtation for several years, and they didn't talk much while in other relationships. Eventually, in 2022, they reconnected when Lyles reached out to ask Bromfield if she wanted to get together and give it another shot. For their second date, nearly 5 years after they first met, the pair went out for sushi, where Lyles taught her how to use chopsticks. Lyles has been extremely open about his own mental health, sharing his use of antidepressants in 2020 and the impact it had on his training. "Just because I'm struggling doesn't mean that I'm going to quit," the athlete told People. "I'm a human being. I'm not a superhero. I have feelings. I have emotions."
I'm a fighter. That's how I made it this far. In fact, just because I'm struggling doesn't mean that I'm gonna quit. I'm very adamant that I don't believe in really giving up or failing is not succeeding. It's when you have completely stopped and given up and not given your. Me and my brother have basically. He's about a year and 4 days younger than me, so there's not a day that I don't remember him being there. So we've been together forever, and we went on this journey of making the Olympic team together. We were planning to go and make it in 2016. I got fourth. Unfortunately, he got injured in that year, and then we came into 2021, and he only made it to the semifinals, and I was able to make the team this time. But especially with not being able to have family at the Olympics, it's been very hard. I was just on the phone with my mom as I was rushing to get ready to come over here, and she has at least called me like 3 times a day, which is only one more than she normally calls me. But the fact that I'm in a 13-hour time difference means that she's calling me more in less time. And I'm just like, you must really miss me for somebody who keeps calling me. And she's like, I do miss you. And I'm just like, Mom, we've been apart for like months before. We did go through COVID. It's like, yeah, but you didn't win a medal from that time. And I was just like, yeah, that's true. So I know that, I miss sharing moments with them, especially right now, which is probably one of the bigger moments of my life. And I know they miss me too. So it's definitely something that you want to share a moment like this, have somebody to attach to and be like, we did this, we've been through the journey together, and it sucks that they're not here. It definitely is a moment where a lot of people can look back and say, oh, these athletes actually have feelings. Because I've been very vocal of, I'm a human being. I'm not a superhero. I'm not, a mutant. I have feelings. I have emotions. Just because I go out there and run fast doesn't mean that I don't come home and hurt and, get tired and want to go have fun, stuff like that. A lot of people will see athletes as put them on this humongous pedestal because they think just because it's something that they can't do that, it's something that nobody can do, and that's not the truth. In all actuality, we all have gifts and abilities, and it's just we found our ability and we honed and really worked at it. But anybody can do that. Finding your gift and honing it and putting all into it, you can do that. And of course, sometimes some gifts are praised more than others, but that doesn't mean it's less important.
His advocacy has had a major impact on his fans, as well as his girlfriend. "I started therapy about 2 years ago because my boyfriend is big on therapy and felt I needed it," Bromfield said in an interview with The Inside Lane. "It's been really helpful because I've been dealing with survivor's guilt, which was weighing on me. Now, I feel like I can live my life fully and enjoy every moment because life is short."
Janelle, I saw what that meant to you, but I need you to tell us what that meant to you. Oh, gosh.
Oh, my. Honestly, it means a lot because it feels as if a burden has lifted off my shoulder. Like for the past couple of years, it's been very hard mentally because I have a lot of loss in my family, and I'm just recovering and, running track with love again that I know I have for the sports because I've been doing it since I've been 8 years old. It's brought me so far, and I'm just grateful to be here.
What's the one thing you're proud of yourself for executing in that race?
Oh, God. In that race, I'm just proud that I ran my own race, because I could have gone with the whole field, but I decided to, you know what, I'm going to sit back and just wait for that 100-meter kick, and that is where I know I trust in myself, because I'm from an 800 and 1500 background, so I'm like, if all those girls can finish strong, I can finish stronger.
You've been experiencing a lot of loss in your family, and you've been able to come out on the track and give us your all. That's incredible. I really hope that you're proud of yourself for that bit alone, because that's not easy. No. That's not easy. What have you been doing in terms of self-care, in terms of looking after yourself and showing yourself love?
Okay, so I started therapy like 2 years ago because my boyfriend is big on therapy and he felt as if I needed it too. And it honestly has helped a lot because I feel as if I've been suffering with survivor's guilt and it was basically laying on my shoulders. So now I'm like, you know, I gotta live my life and just enjoy every moment of it because life is short. Oh, I want to big up my family. Like my sister took a bus all the way to Kingston to see me. Like last night she couldn't even go back home because there wasn't any bus going to the country. I want to big up my boyfriend. I want to big up his mom because, you know, when I went to Florida I wasn't driving and she took me to training and back every day and it was like 40 minutes. So that's a support that I'm extremely grateful for.
Along with his influence on mental health care, Bromfield told the Inside Lane that her relationship with Lyles gave her a stronger support system. In particular, she opened up about her close bond with his family, specifically his mom, Keisha Kane. I want to give a big shout out to my boyfriend and his mom because when I went to Florida, I wasn't driving, and she took me to training and back every day, which was like 40 minutes, she said. That's a support that I'm extremely grateful for. At some point after the pair started dating, Bromfield moved to Florida to join a track and field training group. Instead of cohabiting with Lyles, though, she initially lived with his mom, she explained on the Fast Lane Lifestyle podcast. His mom was like, "You can't live by yourself, you've got to come and live with us." So I lived there, and she took me to practice every single morning and picked me up, she said. She now lives with me, Lyles added. My sister, my mom, my pops, they were heartbroken. Although the two Olympic sprinters are in the same training group now, they keep their romantic life and their running life separate. Even before we started dating, we had a very good balance, Lyles told Fast Lane Lifestyle podcast. We'd show up to quite a few track meets that we were both at, and we weren't dating at the time. But nobody would know that we knew each other, he said. We had our own mindset and our own headspace. Their relationship may have changed, but that boundary has remained the same. She won't even let me call her baby at practice, he said. Off the track, they unwind in a playful way. We love to dance and we love to dance together, Lyles said. That's one of our main hobbies. He's even shared some of their dance moves on social media. During an interview on the Inside Track podcast, Lyles spoke about his strong relationship with Bromfield. It has taught me a lot of patience, and I believe this is my best relationship ever, he said. The athlete went on to say that they prioritize good communication as a couple, particularly since they have different needs. He explained that while he prefers to talk about conflicts right away, Bromfield typically needs some time and space to clear her head. Although they've learned to adapt to one another, they also accept one another for exactly who they are. When we became friends, I told him that I liked him because of his brutal honesty, Bromfield said on the Fast Lane Lifestyle podcast. That's what drew me to him. As for Lyles, being understood and accepted for his blunt honesty was what sealed the deal. Hearing stuff like that, I was like, oh my gosh, I need this woman in my life, he said. I already liked you, but that's a solidified answer of like, okay, we're going to grow old together, and it's going to be forever, and it's going to be constant, he shared. Hearing things like that is like, yeah, I'd want a woman like that to raise my kids.